passing by and all I think about is when we were new school. Flipping off police, drinking beers underage in a swimming pool. But times have changed and we're old now. I think our heat's getting cold now. And now I'm just in love with your cold shoulder.
Cause we fight and then we make love. We break up and then we 2 o'clock and now we're day drunk. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us. Love it when we hate fuck.
Nobody can change us. I cannot fall asleep without you by my side, but when you're here I'm all cold. Yeah, we got something special, but I cannot be the main act in a role. Tell me what you gonna do when they catch us, when they pull out big guns and they blast us. The final end to our mad love, mad love. Cause we fight and then we make love. We break up and then we 2 o'clock and now we're day drunk. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us. When we dance and then we fall off. Hit the speed and then we slow down. 2 o'clock and now we're day drunk. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us. And then we make love. We break up and then we 2 o'clock and now we're day drunk. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us. When we dance and then we fall off. Keep the speed and then we slow down. 2 o'clock and now we're day drunk. Love it when we hate fuck. Nobody can change us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round 2 here at Valencia for Regos Racing GT3 Season 14. Which is a bit nuts to think 14 season. That is a lot of commitment, as we can see. Currently already in qualifying, as it seemed there has been a slight change up in format since last time, as I think we were running, I think it was a 30-minute practice. Well, no, an hour-minute practice and then a 20-minute qualifying today. That was just a huge hour qualifying here. So we went straight into qualifying here as we're on board with Regatti here in the Patagari Racing, who's currently in pole with a 1:31.2, which is surprisingly really quick for the Split 2 server. I don't know what time so far the Split 1 servers are doing because I didn't accidentally join this week. But it seems, I would hope Split 2 is, what's it called? A bit faster, but these times are already pretty good, as we could probably say, is time being. Also, welcome everybody in. I saw there's quite a few people actually in the waiting room before. I'm sorry it's a bit later than usual. That's because my organised self was trying to get some filters off on the game because I was taking screenshots earlier, but we are back. No times seem to be improving just yet, it seems though. Oh gosh, I'm just gonna say this guy seems to be improving just a tiny bit here. He's not doing a significant amount, but he is the largest gaining time here. Apart from Merrifield, he has just lost all of his time now, unfortunately. But Merrifield seems to be keeping it up as consistently as he can in the eBay Racing Motors here. Seems consistency in this server seems to be majority's 32s, and you can see the dips into the 33s and the 31s all around. But all in all, it's pretty good times here for this race. Currently we have 31 cars in here, which is great to see. I think last time we were struggling a bit with, I think it was 24 or 25 cars, and with an hour and 30 minutes I think the race was, it can get a bit difficult to commentate. But unfortunately I did have I think it was a Wi-Fi issue in the end, which did cause, that's why you probably saw the stream cut out, and I tried recovering it, but I didn't get my Wi-Fi back until midnight that day, which was rough. But in terms of that, we are back, and hopefully with the new Wi-Fi we should be just as good as ready to be. That's not English, but we'll go with it. As it seems, oh here we go, Boulder is improving significantly. If he can get this on, he'll just crave into the 31s there. He goes across the line. He does lose a lot of his time there going into the final corner, unfortunately. Just sets a 1:32.3, which unfortunately lost quite a bit of time here. We see Perna in the EOS Ferrari Racing team here, over 7 tenths up at his time. This will be easily enough for pole if he can stick. No, it will not be easily enough for pole, as Regatti is just at a 1:30.9 up there, which is a crazy time to think about that. However, Perna is trying to look to get into the 31s again. He is losing quite a bit of time going into sector 2 there, as you could probably see, as it seems he just goes off track there and just invalidates his lap, which is very unfortunate because he was very high up on his lap. I think he encountered a tiny bit of traffic there, which did not help him at all. But on board here with Giovanni in the standard BMW racing livery here. Seeing the Ferrari's off track there. Is that going to off-put him until it seems there was no dangerous rejoin there from him, which is good to see. He has lost all of his time though, unfortunately. It seems times aren't improving much, apart from the pole sitter from last race as well. Mr. Regatti is on fire. He is definitely the fastest person in this split. Obviously we saw last race he had a bit of a spin off from P1 into the wall, but still managed to recover it very well from him throughout the race. And I reckon he could probably keep up and could be the reigning champion here for season 14 if he can keep it up, unless he gets moved up a split like I have seen happen once before. It's me here trying to get closer to the 31s, currently at a 32.7, and I reckon he can go faster by looking at how many tenths he is up. His personal best time 5 tenths up, 6 tenths up now going into the final corner. Is that an invalidation? I don't think it is. I reckon he just got away with it here, pulling time here, so this will be an easy P7 here with a 32 dead, which is great to see. I reckon he can go a bit faster there, but we can see in the future Giovanni back up on his time once again. Will he be able to do it? Because last time, unfortunately, he encountered a bit of traffic, I think, which off-putted him a bit. It seems he might be on with traffic here as well, but both of them are on hot laps, so they're both entitled to their lap, so they shouldn't have to let each other go at all, as that's racing rules, unfortunately. You can't flash him, unfortunately. There, this is. Both of you are on flying laps there, even if, unfortunately. Very good move there from the blue BMW. I don't know who that is, but I think that's number 333. But that was very fair from blue BMW, giving up his lap time like that. How about Chrissy from last race is improving once again at 32.1. Just get this lap time put together. Just be above the 31s, just about in. Seems they are improving just slightly, but losing in a bit into sector 2 here. This it's literally tense here. Not even that losing its time, but he might just get it back. It doesn't seem they will, which is very, very unfortunate. However, Smee has done a bang on lap time. Going fastest for once for himself as a personal best of a 1:31.9. Currently up in P3 from P7 as we saw earlier. However, we've got Martin Bryan here, who is trying to look on getting to the 31s as well. Currently 2 tenths up in his personal best time, which will currently be enough to get him up into the 31s, which will just about, well, no, he will go up significantly if he can get into the 31 share. He will go straight the way up to P7, exactly halving his positions if he can manage to get this. It seems just losing a bit of time now. I don't want to do any commentators' curses I've done in previous rounds. But unfortunately, he has lost a lot of time there, which is not prominent for him. But we do see him gaining a bit of time there, just going through the S's here. Probably one of the most difficult corners to master, because if you just go a tiny bit wide there, the lap time's invalid, and we might actually see quite a few drive-throughs here today, as I've seen in previous races here at Valencia. Very strict, apart from turn 1. Turn 1 is very generous with track guys, but unfortunately Brian did lose all of his time there. But he still has 9 minutes left of qualifying to do so. Good lap, however. Robertino, brilliant name here, going into, I think, yeah, going into sector 2 very shortly. He was up quite a bit there on his personal best, over 5 tenths up, but unfortunately losing all of his time here. I feel like this is something to do with commentator's curse. However, I'm not trying to curse another person. There's something here in, well, I want to say it's the Target Lambo. It looks very much like the Target logo. It's definitely not what it is. Going across the line here seems to keep his lap time 9 tenths up. This will be easily 7th position, I think. Going up into 3rd. Wow, that's a big improvement from 14th to 3rd. But now just losing a bit from Patek there, who's just set to 1:31.7. Very close between each other, just 3,000ths of a second between them both. However, Samuel is not letting that go, and he is back on with the qualifying spec. Just a 10th up on his time, but it seems he will encounter traffic once again and abort to that, which is very unfortunate. The odds were definitely not in his favour. However, I think we just saw a bit of an incident there. It seems the cameras aren't doing us very well here. So we'll switch back the camera movement. Germany is just measly getting into the 31 share, but just struggling. Gains a lot of time there into turn 8. Oh, but loses it all. It's not going to be good. If they get this, it will definitely be enough for at least P8, maybe even P7 if they can get it stuck together. However, leader, who's only just came across the straight, currently up on his personal best delta, only by 1,000th of a second, but we'll go on board with a lap with Mr. Gatti, as it seems that might be out. I feel like that lap time is out, but seems he's still pushing, so I'm going to assume it's still in. Seems he is still pushing, but just he is trying to carry as much speed as he can. Just overdrive the car a little bit, which is losing him quite a bit of time here. Which for most people wouldn't be a lot of time, but for P1, thousandth of seconds are on the line here. Trying to get as much improvement as you can into the car is possible. I reckon he might be able to make improvements going into sector 3. But at the moment he is just 2,000th of a second up on his personal best time. If you can get into the 30.8s, I feel like that is a good achievement, a good goal here, because between P1 and P2, Regatti and Bocchi, there is a 5/10 difference in time, which is an absolutely insane time difference for P1. This is what happens when you split the servers up. You'll get a few anomalies that are extremely quick. That probably should be in split 1. Fortunately for them, still in. Seems just losing a bit of time there through the last corners, and unfortunately not any improvement on his time at all. Comes into the last 6 minutes qualifying. This will be enough for about 3 or 4 laps here. It's just moments of time here, just trying to push, maybe even getting new tyres on if possible. However, Van Poel is currently 5/10 up on his personal best. Lap time here just goes wide down. That is not going to be valid, unfortunately, as we see him just pulling over there. Attenborough is currently a 10th up on his personal best time as well. Currently a 32.4 dead, but unfortunately loses all of the time. I feel like commentator's curse is playing a humongous role in this, so I feel very bad, and I apologise to everyone that I've cursed. I hope I don't do it during the race, but this is commentary for you. That Ripatino just going across the line, getting a slipstream, just gets across the line, doesn't improve too much, just by about 10. Doesn't go up or down in position. Dan Poole, on the other hand, is trying to look to get this lap time. He has a mid 32 in him. I can tell just by through the first sector, gaining around 5/10 there. 6/10 now, if you can count that. Since there is a yellow car there, probably just a pull in, which is understandable because we've only got 4 minutes of qualifying left. This is definitely enough for 2 laps, an out lap and the quick lap. If you are going back to the pits, you want to do it now and just put 2 laps of fuel in and just go as fast as you can possibly. But I bet a load of people here are running no fuel as they should do. Otherwise that is just a humongous time waster during qualifying. Just the final corner is still up, 4/10 on his personal best time here, bringing him up only 2 positions, which tells you how big of a gap there was between those two. But now he's in the consistent 1.5 share, where about 3 to 8 cars are in the 1.3 to 1.5 region of delta there. Anyone else improving here? Yes, there is. Joseph Attenborough trying to improve, but seems he might get some traffic during this lap, which isn't great for him. But it seems for the time being he is alright, but he still obviously has an entire sector to go, which isn't great for him. Just seeing how, I reckon he can do it. It depends how slow the cars are in front of him. But he is taking a risk and trying to go as fast as he can. But it will definitely be very annoyed if he can't. Didn't improve too much in that time. About a 10th as well. And that will be his last qualifying lap here. So we do see Christie, PCD Racing pushing as hard as they can currently in P6, trying to get in to possibly P4 and P3. P4 is looking realistic right now, around an average of a 10th, but P5 is definitely a goal. Even if you can just get 3 or even 4 thousandths of a second, they can get. That'll be enough for P5 provisionally. So I think at the moment P1 doesn't seem to be provisional at all, unless someone can pull out a crap of a lap in the last lap. He 1/10 up on his best. Could rather close here. Obviously, this will be a provisional time, and I reckon a few of the cars as Patek is looking to improve, and just lost a lot of his time there, Patek. This is before he's got to get the draft here. This could be enough. I feel like BMW did hold on up a tiny bit. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough, but he's going to try to get one more lap time if possible. But I feel like this BMW is going to cause a tiny bit of hassle here for him. Just a bit of traffic here, which is probably going to be a wash of the lap. Currently 2 times up on the personal best. Oh, it seems the BMW is just affecting them so much. And unfortunately, I feel like that is going to be the end of their lap. Seems no one else is going out for final lap apart from John Rowan here in 30th position in BMW Supercharged Motorsport. I feel like I also gave him the commentator's curse, and I apologise very, very much. However, Germany just comes across the line, losing a lot of time there. It's just going to be drag ratio with the line for just a 1,000th of a second improvement there. Not a lot, but can take anything at this point. Just going to have enough time for one more lap here. Leader, we are going to go on board with the leader for this lap to see what he can do. Seems he is keeping a consistent green delta at the moment. If that means keep in the green delta, that's a new challenge for him. Seems he is managing to keep it up in the green delta. It will obviously still be for pole, as this is currently a provisional, as he seems he backs off on the lap with a bit of oversteer, it seems. So everyone seems to be going into pit now. Everyone seems to be finishing their laps. Or out laps, just a few cars left here. None seem to be on a hot lap at all. Everyone seems to be on their out lap. Everyone backs off after the line. Hopefully now everyone's in. We should be able to move on through the servers after Germany, who is actually up on official best time. It's not by a lot, but will it be by enough? Just about 5 thousandths of a second, which is an improvement, and we go on to the next server here as soon as we can. The only 20 minutes I was qualifying for that, it was pretty interesting. There was a lot of action going on for that to happen. Obviously, we got the race now, an hour race compared to the hour-and-a-half race that was last time. This will be the shortest race, I believe, in the Amigos Season 14 calendar. Are we going to see any sort of change in the server? Because it seems the server's just frozen a tiny bit. Hopefully we do see it change over now. I'm genuinely surprised. The times are so close from P2 to P11, just around less than 5/10 between them, which hopefully will lead some close racing there. And then even P12 all the way down to P23 are just not even 8/10 in between each other, which is quite close when you think about it. And obviously there are huge straight here in Valencia, which is very good for slipstream. But now it's just a time if we see any drive-throughs, because of obviously some of the stricter what's it called? Pretty zoned out then for a second. Is it not? I thought it fixed this. I actually... Hang on. Give me a second. Quickly go on board with him now and I'll see for you. Yeah, I don't know what's happened there. It synced on my end. It didn't skip. It actually installed. What I'm going to ask you to do, if you can, I don't know if you're racing or not, if you can please just send me the files directly of deliveries, and I'll just put them into my game manually, and it should be done then for you. I am very sorry for about that. I don't know what went wrong with that. It seems everyone else's cars, apart from 3 McLarens, has went through. Alright, cool. I'll get that done for the next race for you. It won't be able to be done tonight, unfortunately. I apologise for that. Just gone live in the server now. Seems we are just transitioning over for the first race, well, second race of the season, but the first race and the only race of tonight. Hope for a good race with you as well, as we are just going to quickly in a second do a track guide video, as I reckon it will work out well. Just hopefully learning the track a bit more sooner than you think, hopefully. So you're now just trying to wait for the servers. We've only got like 5-minute session start, and it is a short formation lap, which is great for me. Means less waffling I'm going to have to do for the start of the race. See, there are a bunch of colourful cars here. A few McLarens, unfortunately, as we just said it in the chat, that aren't showing. But while we wait, I reckon we do this track guide together and watch and see if we can learn Valencia, because I'm horrible from this track as well.
On the track guide in ACC, this time at Valencia with the new Ferrari. I've seen a couple of these guides out already, but I'm going to do my own one, my own way, because I can. And we're on the default setup, by the way, with some very minor adjustments. Now down towards the first turn, which is a very fast left-hander, we're going to start by positioning our car slightly outside this white line for a nicer entry line. It'll allow us to carry more speed through the turn. We're looking out for those white marks on the fence. We want to brake a little bit before that, and then after that we want to look for the apex. Now we can use a little bit of the green area on the inside there, as long as we're not going onto the grass, because that will throw the car around, which is not what we want. And then use all the speed we're carrying all the way out to the outside. Only on this turn we can carry our car all the way onto the green stuff, as long as we're not putting all 4 wheels outside of the green. Then we want to bring the car back onto the tarmac, back within the limits. And for the next turn, we're looking out for the white line here. We want to brake a little bit before it. If you've had a bad first turn, you could possibly brake a little bit later. This is one of the tightest turns on the track, so we're bringing it all the way down to first gear. We want a slightly later apex, get hard on the throttle, let the car rotate all the way out to the outside. This time we have to stay within the curb, but using all the track that we can. Then this little left kink up ahead should be flat out. After this, we want to bring the car back to the left and try position our car as parallel as possible with the curb line, and then brake slightly before or on this white line there. Then we want to trail brake towards the inside, use this inside curb with the green stuff, and as long as we're not touching the grass, because again that'll unsettle the car. Then carrying our speed through to the outside and not onto the sand. We can get close to it but not touching it, otherwise our lap will be invalid. Now from this point we're looking towards an apex of the next turn. We're going to start turning in quite early and then carry some speed and also trail brake. We're going to start accelerating about mid-turn where the green stuff is, then carry the car's speed towards the outside. Same story here. don't go into the sand because your lap will become invalid. The car will probably want to move around on throttle there, so just be prepared. You might want to be softer on throttle if you're not so confident. Back to the right, we're going to brake a little bit after this white line this time around. We can go fairly deep into the turn because we're going uphill. On this lap I brought it down to first gear in this turn, but you can probably keep it in second as long as you bring it nice and tight to the apex, getting on throttle about mid-turn, then bring it all the way to the outside, using all the track. And on the green stuff on this particular exit, it's very bumpy, so come towards the tarmac quite early to avoid all that for too long. Then we're taking the shortest line possible and then coming back towards the outside to prepare for the next turn, nice entry line. And then we brake just before this white line. And notice in this turn how it goes downhill, so we're going to have a little bit less grip, so we want to keep quite tight to the apex here. As you can see, bring it down to first gear, and then about mid-turn is where we want to get on throttle. But as long as we're getting the front end to pull back in towards the apex, that's when we start accelerating. Then again, just be careful, don't go too far out wide there, otherwise you'll invalidate the lap. Taking the shortest line, and for this turn, which is one of the more complicated turns on the track, you're going to want to start braking around this apex here, and just be careful. You're not going to want to slam the brakes, and you don't want to carry too much speed, otherwise you'll spin. You're going to want to slowly peel off the brake pedal and gradually increase your steering input. You want a late apex here, and the earlier you get on throttle, the faster you're going to be, but don't accelerate too early, otherwise you'll end wide and you'll have a bad line. You can go a little bit wider on exit than I did there, so maybe a little bit of time lost there. Here, you want to come all the way to the outside, brake just before this white line. Don't brake too hard too long because you don't want to slow down too much. You want to carry your speed through here. But you do understeer a little bit on turn entry here. You've got to be careful. It will take some experimenting, and you don't want to hit that sausage curb because that'll mess you up. You want to get as close to that sausage curb as you can. I ran a little bit wide on this occasion, so you could possibly get this line a little bit straighter than I did. Be careful, right where I've got that red arrow, there's a really nasty bump that can flick the car up, as I'm going to show and demonstrate right here. You'll see there's a first bump, and then the second one is the nasty.
We are going to have to unfortunately cut that track guide short, because I didn't expect how long the track guide was to be. But as we're about to go green here, for the first time for season, well, the second time for season 14, will we see any sort of issues? Hopefully not, but we will see now as we are now green at, oh, this is already going to be an intense race. I can see it as we're going free wide. I saw just at the back there over 5 ways of freeways there. It's just going to go back short as we do see Patek spin, which is very unfortunate towards him. Hopefully he can recover very well there as we see free wide here. Once again, this is so dodgy. Just going free wide back here. Again, I feel like I'm going to be seeing free wide a lot here as we do go back to leaders here. 3 McLaren's battling it out. Again, Regatti, Bocky and Christie all battling it out once again to try and get the slipstream and obviously try to get in the lead as quickly as possible. Patek trying to make moves back, trying to get further up the grid where he belonged at first. Just going side by side there with the blue. Seems the race start has gone very cleanly, which is a very surprise here. Jack Christie trying to go all over the back there of Bocky. Not going to work in his favour though, unfortunately, but we are going to have to see how that plans out. Right, do you see Thomas Merrifield either being attacked or trying to attack in the car? Here, just going to second 2 as we do see a spin there, and it seems 2 cars are off there. It's Patek once again. Patek has not had the best start to this race. I will try fetch a replay for that. Just spinning it and punting another car. Nothing the Ferrari could have done there. Bit of throttle control probably Patek could have done. Try and prevent any sort of overseer moment there, as we do see another here. Adam North just off into the gravel, which you don't like to see, but seems just recovering fine there. Unfortunately, quite further down the field and probably originally was. So you see Jordan Attenborough trying to attack once again on Boulder. Boulder not trying any sort of defensive move yet. It doesn't seem Joseph is trying to make any sort of attack moves there yet. Too far away for any of that. Hey Rick, hopeful as well, bud. Do you just see Guy though trying to make a move there, just sticking his nose out into his mirrors, trying to put pressure there Pistorius doesn't seem Pistorius broke under pressure at all under that little juke, but it was quite a far away juke to see any sort of movement. I've got very tired for some reason. I'm just going to continue as far as I can. Simon Van, Ferrari just sponsored by Gatorade car, trying to go side by side there with the white Lambo, but the white Lambo isn't cracking under pressure there. A bit of a juke there from the Ferrari, trying for the temptation to try and go side by side into the S's, but thinks better of it, which I feel like is a very responsible idea there. However, just for trying to make an attack move there on Bekele, not seeming to be close enough yet, but the slipstream is. Qualify got moved for the other day. You did a lot of streaming yesterday though in the CSGO. See, the Gatorade car goes very wide there. See further back, they go side by side. A bit of grass there, touches them to both get off guard there. But it seems they both recovered it very well there, side by side. But it seems the Ferrari, the position go back, which is good to see. But we're now having another side by side moment there. But it seems the white car is just going to get pushed back into other traffic there, which is going to be unfortunate now. Going to have to attack and defend at the same time, as we do see Calibre unfortunately spinning. We will just get a quick replay and see what happened there. Seems, is it going to be any car fault? Seems the curb might have been the issue. Yeah, throttle control, which is very unfortunate to see. But it's just something that happens, especially on curbs. Inside curbs are definitely a killer on most tracks here. Alex North trying to make up positions again after the unfortunate incident on lap 1. Trying to go side by side there with the blue BMW of Camiso. No, going side by side. Just backing out before the next corner, going into the hairpin, but has the inside line, which is going to benefit him very much there to get the position done into P28. Andre Patek seeming to try and make back the positions that he lost twice, shall we say, which is very unfortunate after the incidents that happened. We just saw a lunge there from Perna on the EOS car. I keep saying on it, I apologise. TC battles are erupting left, right and centre here. A freeway battle here. It seems Boulder trying to juke the move there. Seems the Ferrari did just sort of go for it then and went a bit defensive, but it seems it didn't affect him too badly there. Trying to look for any move possible, but losing just a tiny bit of time there, which is very unfortunate for him. I'm sure he'll probably gain it back very soon because he is held up by the Aston Martin there. It's just a huge train between them both. As we do see Roman just going a bit slow there. I have a feeling it was probably a spin incident again. Doesn't seem to have any damage by looking at it, but is slowing down. I feel like we have our first retirement as the race. We do see Dampel trying it on Thomas Merrifield earlier, so it went down to 0 seconds on the Delta gap. Seems Thomas Merrifield still is the reigning P17 position. How long is that for? Because Dampel probably wants to try and get past before the Ferrari of Brian and Simon Van catch up and make this a four-way battle. It's very stressful. I've been there before, and it's one of the worst things that can happen. So it's every car going down here. It's just a huge slipstream chain here. It seems Pistorius just trying to make any sort of, I guess, movement there. As you see, so you're going a tiny bit wide there. Did not help the gap at all for Smee, but Pistorius benefited that very much. Just only 10th though between both of them. Could see some battles happening again soon. It seems no one's going side by side apart from Dampel. Dampel all over the back of Thomas Merrifield again. Is it going to be enough? Just in the mirrors there, just keeping the car offset with the other one, just saying in the mirrors, I am here for a bit of pressure. As we go side by side here, it seems Thomas Merrifield is able to defend that move for the time being. But is there a switchback? A switchback seems to be happening here, as there was a bit of underspeed there from Thomas Merrifield. But now Dampel has the inside line here, still side by side going into the hairpin. Dampel obviously still has the inside line, still the nose out, but Dampel gets the move done into P17 and onto the next car for Dampel. There's a bit of a gap now between the other car gaps there, but it seems it's went down quite significantly already, which is very, very intriguing. I feel like that might be a slow car ahead. Just a bit unfortunate there might have been an issue there, but Andre Patek trying to make back the moves once again on the white Lambo, all over the back of that white Lambo. Go probably try and make a move here, lunging it a bit there. It's very close racing between them, but Patek gets moved down, but luckily the white Lambo just makes enough room, because that was not how it was supposed to be done. However, there is another battle here side by side between Vitasso and I think that is the EOS Perna. It seems just backed off a bit, which is very sensible, but is there going to be a switchback? It might be a bit of a switchback. No, just too far back for a switchback to occur. However, Simon Van all over the back of Brian. Once again, Brian trying to get defensive there because he doesn't know when Simon Van will make the move or attempt to make the move, because we have seen multiple times moves do go wrong and lead to incidents, and that is a worst case scenario. But hopefully it's usually just some good racing between them, as it seems to be already. Seems just trying to get the slipstream there from Perna, trying to get a bit closer, but it seems he's going to try. I thought he was going to try to put a nose out there in the inside where there was no room. Luckily that did not happen. You do see there is an action ahead. Seems Neil Archer trying to get past Thomas Merrifield. Thomas Merrifield seems to be a tiny bit lacking on the pace between some of his oppositions, such as Dan Paul, who managed to get past and make a bit of a gap for himself now. Maybe he can strike back, as we do see in Velis just going a bit slow, it seems. Letting, I think that was, who was that in the Aston Martin? I completely forgot who that was. It's not appearing on my radar, which is very unfortunate. But it was the Alex car, and I know that because it is the McLaren livery, which I think is very classic because it's got my name on the side of it. It's obviously not meant for me, but it's a very cool livery in my opinion. However, this is just going to be chaotic here, a four-way chain here. The Porsche, the Lambo, the two Ferraris at the back. The Porsche is definitely going to feel pressure, I'm going to presume, being at the lead of this chain, and try and just take as much of the pressure off their shoulders as possible just by going forward and not constantly looking back in your mirror or the relatives tab, which I feel like a lot of people do. However, that McLaren also looks like it's being dragged into this battle as well, which could make it a five-way battle very quickly between them. Seems it is starting to break up a tiny bit. It's just going to be a three-way battle unless these two Ferraris do catch up again. Will they be able to? Possibly. It seems half of them could be traffic actually, it seems, on my radar. But I feel like my radar is a tiny bit on the broken side once again. Seems to me it's now a bit more relief how he has slipstream now, but not as strong as the Lambo slipstream as they both go to turn one, executing it perfectly. However, the Lambo there trying to make a move there. Doesn't seem to work just yet, just trying to put as much pressure there on Smee as possible. Seems he's going to try to put his nose out there. I thought he was going to try to release his brakes a tiny bit. Seems just trying to find any gap possible to try and slide the nose of the car in. But at the moment it doesn't seem to be working in his favour at all. Gaps are starting to break away just a tiny bit here. Boldo is starting to catch up here on for Josh Walker. So it's going to be another battle soon. Seems the times are very close between each other. Boldo is just a tiny bit on the disadvantage on the last lap time. But this could change very quickly as it seems. Boldo does have the slipstream and Josh Walker obviously doesn't, because there is a huge gap between them both. It's going to be very difficult for Walker to try and make any sort of advantage in this as we go into the straight here. This is where they might be able to go side by side, and we will probably see this again. I have seen this in the past where they try to go side by side through the first corner. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does work. There was a tiny bit of lunge there where the Porsche doesn't seem to commit to the move, which is good because that was a far back. It's now basically on the rear of this Porsche, of this Ferrari. So he's just trying to make lunge there, using all of the track out there. It seems Gap are just slowly going away from each other. I feel like that is from the aggression. And we do see Boulder using at the moment. However, there is another well also behind happening, which we can see is Joseph Attenborough, sorry, and Dan Poole on fire at the moment, getting as many positions as possible. He's losing quite a bit of time there, unfortunately. However, David Bulldog is not losing any time at all. In fact, gaining most of the time there, just on the bumper there. Bumper to bumper between them both, just losing some time there. But it seems they will have the advantage of the slipstream in Bulldog's hands here. He's going to the straight once again. This is going to be a side-by-side move. It seems Josh Walker has just forced the inside line as you would do from a defensive move. But seems there is no sort of thing. There could be a switcheroo position here. It doesn't seem any sort of move will happen there as we do go further back, and we do see more battles as well. Two-way car battle here, which can easily make a four-way battle as we might see it. So we see, I think that was Joseph Attenborough just spinning that. Seems manages to recover it very well there. Well done, Joseph. And we continue the battles once again. Josh Walker just always on pressure here from Boulder. Is it going to be enough though? Boulder tries to go side by side here, has the inside line for the next corner. Is it going to be enough? But the Ferrari speed is goddamn good around here. Seems still in. This is always where it goes wrong. Just going breaking wide, unfortunately, which causes Boulder to go through as easy as that. As now, Walker is in even more pressure than before now because Dan Poole has caught up. And this is going to be another Ferrari on Ferrari battle as we've seen in the past. He's trying to put his move up in the inside and just a bit of contact there which caused Josh Walker going spinning there. That's not going to be a pleasant conversation between those two after the race, but unfortunately that seemed like it just running out of room there. And it seems he is going again, which is great to see. However, we're still seeing this humongous battle unfold from P5 all the way to P9, which is absolutely mental, as we do see P10 and P11 also scrapping, which could also cause the biggest chain battle we have seen in a while, which could lead to some very good racing here, as we do see Speed is definitely under a lot of pressure with having about 9 cars behind him, but seems to be just doing it perfectly. Obviously the reason why this has happened is because it seems Smee's pace is a tad bit slower from the rest, but his defense is pretty damn good, which is causing this train to form up, which is definitely not going to help with Smee's pace, because obviously he is having to think of defending while having the pressure of trying to do good laps as well. Otherwise this will happen. It seems Jack Christie might get involved with this soon, as there's not much of a gap between them both, which could lead to even more battles. However, though, there is another battle going here. Ringston and Katawa, so just it seems a bit of a lock up at the break there from us. We do see more contact here. This is huge contact here. Let's go back and see what happened there in the replay. It seems Pinner is just going to this corner fine. It seems the Gatorade car just breaks extremely late into the back. There wasn't any sort of avoidance there, but again, I think like the reaction time is something luckily, the Gatorade car does let put in the back, which is very unfortunate because they were up in, I think it was P16, P17, and all the way back down to P24, and poor P26 as well. So we go back to these huge battles that are starting here. Seems Mabuga, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I'm not a very good surname or name in general reader. Just trying to make time, as he is making more time on Smee. Smee is starting to pick up the pace again as we're starting to see the gap of the cars increase between them. Although Alex North is trying to go on the back of Vital, so now just trying to get the slipstream, trying to get as much, trying to get into the side draft as well. This is a big enough straight to make a launcher. It's forcing the inside line, just backs off, but I feel like that's because Vitalso did brake too late and just opened the door there to Alex North to get through. Vitalso's not going to be happy with that move for himself after braking way too late here. However, Andre Batek and Neil Archer just going side by side, but however, Batek does have the inside line, but Neil Archer does brake later, which is leaving him with more benefit here. And Neil Archer does seem to keep the move into this lap, but however, Batek does have the slipstream for this straight and might even force the inside line. It might be. Seems not close enough to make him move, but T1 is a very confident corner and they're both in the same machinery. There's no need to flash for this, as you are for the same position, so you don't need to, unless that is what we see is sometimes people use the flash for, I think, intimidation, which definitely causes controversy towards the esports world, because you're not supposed to do it in real life because obviously you're in the same position, so you have the right to battle each other. However, while that was happening, the Lambo has just got past Smee. Fortunately for Smee, now Smee being battled here by Pistorius. Pistorius trying to put his nose out into turn 8. Doesn't seem to work in Pistorius' favour. Smee trying to gain the position back in the Lambo, because being in the middle of the pack to get in the dirty air now, it's not going to be the best. But however, Pistorius is definitely getting the worst of the dirty air between them three. As we see slipstream just going into the mirrors there, Porsche saying I am here, try and make any sort of confidence there, as we see a huge, but I think there was a bit of a bump there which caused a bit of a fling there of Rapitino by Aaron Sparks. Aaron Sparks obviously very confident driver in the Bulldogs A-War, which I really do like the livery of his car. Just in the middle of this pack, which isn't the best place to be in, but isn't the worst place to be in. The best place to be in the small pack is definitely at the bottom, in my opinion, because you have no pressure from the cars behind and you can just focus on getting ahead. There's no need to rush at all. Just staying on the back of the cars and hoping for the cars to make a mistake ahead. The Pistorius is just losing time once again to Smee. Smee has picked up the pace, trying to keep back and try get his position of P4 back, as it seems the Lambo goes very wide. They're opening the door to Smee as it's going to go side by side here into the S's. However, Smee does have the inside line, which is going to benefit him very much into the S's and gets the position done. However, Pistorius is not done with this, battling with the Lambo as well, just trying to go side by side here, forces the inside line into the final corner here. This is going to work very much in Pistorius' favour, and it does do, as he's now in risk of Germany as well. That one mistake caused 2 positions to go down here. It seems Pistorius is going to try and get the slipstream. I don't think it's going to be enough to get to the cars ahead, as we do see another 4 cars trying to join this train as well. It seems Smee goes very wide there, but everyone else goes wide. That is probably going to be a track limit warning for anything. It seems Pistorius is trying to make any sort of move possible, just putting a load of pressure here, and Smee going for a juke on the outside, which is a very very aggressive move there, but works in terms of not aggression, but what's it called? I completely forgot the word now. Just seem to try again. Pistorius just trying to put pressure there on Smee. Smee breaks quite late there, but it seems the braking market did work. Not losing much time at all. Seems this train is starting to break apart now. So we do see people pitting here. There is a pit mandatory window here, obviously, and it seems Patek and Guy have the idea of trying to get out now. So we do see another train here. Ringston trying to make a move. Josh Walker after Josh Walker unfortunately got spun out by another Ferrari. This freeway Ferrari battle is nowhere near but over. As we've seen over the past 30 minutes, they have been just non-stop battling with each other. So it seems Ringston loses a lot of time there, which isn't good, but seems to keep it fine. We're seeing the middle of the pack. So we do see Thomas Merrifield in the horizon, also with Alex North. So wow, all trying to join this battle. Well, Merrifield does not want to join the battle. That's what he's trying to get. But it seems Merrifield is losing a lot of time here to this pack. This humongous slipstream chain once again is just going to cause more chaos, I feel, but more fun racing, I hope. Thomas Kelly Big just losing a bit of time there. Oh, but it seems, I don't know what car that was, Simon Van. Just unfortunately going extremely wide, opens the door there, and Kelberg just takes the place. Which is a very fortunate position there for Kelberg, and not a fortunate position there at all for what's his name? Simon Van. Starting to see Martin Brown trying to put nose out at any time possible on Ringston, but Ringston isn't going to let this happen anytime soon. Trying not to get the pressure to get to him. Just get on with his race, but it seems Martin Brown breaks a lot later there than Ringston. Probably put him off guard just a tiny bit, as we are just noticed on quite a hot track as well, which is not going to help the tyres at all. Okay, it's only an hour's race there, but we do see contact between them both. Oh, that's unfortunate. Martin Brown just brakes way too late there, and Ringston goes towards with it. It seems Ringston is not happy with that at all. It seems Martin Brown isn't going to give the position up at all, as it seems Ringston is still doing donuts, which isn't going to help his tyre at all. There is nothing he could have done there, but Thomas Merrifield is now up. We just got overtaken there by Josh Walker, which is not ideal for him at all, but has the slipstream. Was it a technique to try do it to get the Duke, or just go for the outside line? It's a very interesting line, unless you're trying to do a switch route, but it's forced the outside line there, lost a bit of time there instead of doing a switchback maneuver that he could have potentially been able to pull off and sit here in P17. Starting to see a lot of people do their pit stops now. You do see Sylvian Pistorius once again trying to go at it, but it seems Smee has been attacked here. Smee, I feel like there's lap track it as he just goes into Pistorius there. Pistorius is not going to be happy with that. Oh, it causes a humongous spin there. All of the cars back here got collected in this unfortunate incident, which is not good at all. As it seems what happened there is just the contact causes the car to unsettle, which then causes the Lambo, and that is a very unfortunate incident there. Very unfortunate, and that causes the gaps to go up again. Samuel is not going to be happy with that at all. However, who we do see is Patek climbing back on the order after him doing his pit stop with Guy, who are battling actually for position, because both of them have done the position pit stops and now are fighting for position. However, we do see Thomas Merrifield going a bit slow there by a yellow flag. It seems to be all sorted again. This is why we're going to see some intense battles here, as everyone's just coming out closer and closer together between each other, as we do see a bit of a battle that I feel like that's not for position now, was just for thing. As we go back with the leaders, we haven't been with the leader at all during this race, really, Bugatti still in first place, just on the deadline of 10 seconds. Best lap time of the session so far of a 1:32.1 dead. And pretty much set here. Bucky trying to catch up, but just 10 seconds between them. Quite a bit of time to try and catch up in 30 minutes without any any disadvantages on Bugatti's side like last time. Aaron Sparks still trying to make a move here on Christie. Seems it's not going to happen anytime soon. Just a tiny bit too far back for anything to happen here. Just going to have to turn around here. It seems Aaron has the advantage there to turn around and take him a bit more race line there as it turned to that just breaks a tiny bit later there, which you would think is still closer, but lost a lot more time due to the car not being able to. Seems to be lap traffic, or is it? No, this is for a position. This is now Robertino trying to defend from two cars. If he makes a move, two cars could potentially get past him and go all the way down into P8, which you don't want to happen, as it seems this might become quite a rough battle. So you could see the defence here, however, seems that Aaron Sparks tries to just juke Christie a bit, which seems to work in favour of Aaron, and Robertino has not worked at all in Christie's favour. So you just see that, just the bonnet there of Aaron just trying to go anywhere he can. It does not work at all as we are going on to the S's here. Aaron Sparks just a bit too far up behind to try and make any sort of move. Just trying to put the nose out. Doesn't seem to work as they both go into the pit at the same time. This is going to be a race for pit stop. Try not to get a speed in pit lane, as you can both collide into each other in the pit lane and cause the other person to get a speeding in pit lane penalty. This is all about jumping the start now. If one of them can jump the start here and have the most efficient splash and dash pit stop, they can. This is about nailing and not having to reverse or going up on the jacks, not straight. And it seems both of them have stopped straight. It seems they're both not up on the jacks yet, which means they both not had a good pit stops. They're both still not up on the jacks yet, which isn't good, as I've said before. Great, as it seems they're doing a long pit stop here. It must be a half and half fuel strategy, as we'll come back to that in a minute, as everyone's coming back to the pit stops. As we did see, huge, it seems they might be taking tyres as well, as we'll see how that plans out for them in a minute, whoever comes out first. As it seems someone takes out the speed in pit lane thing, as it seems we have a winner here, but it's not by much at all. Christie just get in front of Sparks. This is exactly how it planned before, and unfortunately Sparks has lost a marginable amount of time there between them both, which is a very unfortunate. So however, Boldo is also coming out on the pits trying to attack as well, as everyone is currently in the pit for the last half an hour of this race. Seems Jimeni has a tiny bit of damage on both his skirt and his front bumper. Don't know what's happened there, and I don't see anything in the incident report file as well, so it must have been from earlier. But that is a hell of a lot of damage to carry. It seems the suspension is straight, and that's probably more than 15 seconds if you didn't know. 15 seconds is the... well, under 15 seconds is the most amount of damage you take before having to pit, because you'll lose way too much time otherwise, with obviously aero damage or steering rack damage or any of that. However, as I'm right, just whoa, goes. Well, I don't really know what happened there. I'll have to go back there and see what happens. Seems to be both going wide. It was a very aggressive move there. Seems he was just trying to make a bit of a dive bomb here as it was, as he just moves under braking, which isn't, and that's a big no-no there from the Porsche. The Porsche just moves under braking, which causes that to happen, which is very unfortunate from him, but fortunately that is mistakes, and will definitely learn from mistakes. Oh, Jordan Attenborough isn't making mistakes, should we say, and is catching up to Dan Poole. Dan Poole currently up in P6, but I don't know if he's done his pit stop or not. Seems for the time being it is fine. It seems they're all just carrying enough speed to make it still fast. Rigatti has just lost first place coming out of pits there, but it seems Fleming Lloyd is the only person who hasn't pitted yet, as we are all on different laps here now. What's going to happen? We're going to see traffic, as we do see. I feel like Josh Walker is further down trying to unlap himself. With Darren Christie and Robertino back at it once again. Just a few attempts between each other. It's going to be enough to go for the little lunge there into turn 2. Yes, it's not. I thought that was going to be a bit of a lunge there, but it seems nothing happens there. And unfortunately, uses quite a bit of time there to Robertino, but might gain that back once again. Because obviously we're after the pit stops here, and we're just still going. I'll be honest, this is probably one of the best races I've commentated on. I know we've still got 25 minutes, but it has been action-packed and stuff here. It's been good fun so far, but we've still got 25 minutes. We can see what happens during this 25 minutes. Martin Bryan though on Kallenberg, sorry, once again. This has happened before. Ferrari and Ferrari, same engineering from both. There might be on different strategies of setups though, that could be on higher downforces, lower downforce setups, whatever you name it. But I feel like everyone's going to be in quite a high downforce setup for this very, very twisty and technical track. However, we do see a freeway battle starting again. Patek up into 13th, but it seems Pachois just juking him going in the inside line into the final turning, but tries to get that move back, because we do see Samuel in the background as well trying to get involved with this. But Patek is obviously going to have the slipstream here going into turn 1. Is it going to be enough? No, but it seems Pistorius is trying to get the inside move, but just jukes it there. But Patek jukes it a tiny bit more. I don't know why Patek keeps using his lights. Patek needs to be less confident with his lights and more confident with his driving style, I feel. Just this is a great battle here. Pistorius just back over in the lead of this battle once again, fighting it back for P9. Patek is not going to let that happen. Notice this is going to be a 5-way battle now soon, as we see the other cars in the horizon also going, but there's Samuel trying to make a move there, and Patek is in big trouble here from both, losing time from Pistorius, and again, don't need to flash Patek. Patek is very aggressive with the flashes there. I feel like that will be reported soon, but Samuel is also trying to get involved with this. Again, it's starting to break up a tiny bit. It seems Patek's getting a tiny bit impatient, trying to break it a tiny bit later, try and gain as much time as possible without making it inefficient or illegal. As we do see back in there, we did see a bit of a move there. It seems guy trying to make a bit of a move there on Fleming Lloyd, who was the leader for a bit of the time. I did not expect that to happen in 3 minutes. Wow, that was interesting. But it's definitely not over. However, Jack Christie's still on the back here. Smee has not had any sort of break here, but it seems just putting his nose out on the outside here, going around the outside, but doesn't seem to work. Trying to get the switchback. Switchback does not work as Smee just cuts off that nose, because nah, that is not happening today. But Smee also just defending as hard as possible, losing a lot of time unfortunately, which means the Lamborghini is also, but it seems the Lamborghini is lap traffic, so that is irrelevant in this case. Smee is just going as far as he can in defending terms. It seems Christie's going to be backed up into this lap traffic here. And it causes quite a big gap here. However, Boulder trying to make a move on Fleming. It seems it's trying to make it work, and he has done it. It seems Fleming just lets him past, which is a very sensible move. I reckon he would have been able to defend that into that corner, because obviously the inside line was his property, you could say, for that. However, we do see Kallenberg and Ringston once again fighting, but it seems Kallenberg has the inside line and just gets the move done. It seems Ringston just goes a bit too wide there. We're going to see any sort of retaliation move to that, or is it just going to be a final decision? At the moment it seems Ringston has just let that happen, because you don't want to lose too much time to the other two Ferraris behind you, as we do see Bocky trying to make a move here on Thomas Merrifield. Seems going side by side, but now has the inside line for both of these corners, but seems Thomas Merrifield's trying to make the switch back, which doesn't seem to work in his favour, unfortunately. Is this going to be final position, or is Thomas Merrifield going to try doing something into his next hairpin, break a tiny bit later? No. Everything seems to be settled with that debate here. However, we see Martin Bryan again retaliating here on Ringston. This freeway battle is definitely anything but over at the moment. You see all three of them nearly go into the back of each other, but manages just to get the brakes on in time without hitting each other. Wow, this has been action-packed. Wowee. Gaps are going a tiny bit down there, but it seems Ringston is in the red flag area here now. So it seems everyone's got a slipstream apart from him. However, this is not supposed to happen. Ian Perna just tries to go side by side there with Martin Bryan, but just loses too much time there and speed on the straight there. Decides to get back in the slipstream and try to make the move again at a later date, and it seems the gap's starting to widen up again through there. However, we do see Samuel on the back of Patek. Patek, obviously, driver who is very capable of doing fast stuff, but unfortunately has been in quite a few incidents today. Well, I'm not going to get involved with the stewarding stuff. That's for the stewards to decide, obviously. Someone was just going a bit wide there, losing a bit of time there going on the gravel. It didn't seem to affect him too badly, actually. I reckon he would have been able to have him if he didn't do that. This is where it gets a bit interesting here. Tries to go for the inside move, just as a bit of a juke move there. It doesn't go for any sort of move just yet. However, we do see Jack Christie doing donuts there. What has happened there? Of course, that's happened. Goes on. Oh, that's a very unfortunate there. Just goes on the curve, unsettles the suspension of the McLaren, and causes him to do donuts. And trying to get off and get traction with the grass does not work. Spinning him back around. Samuel again losing a bit of time there, but Patek, but I reckon sector 3 is the ground there of Samuel. Samuel does have the advantage in sector 3. Their times are very close, it seems, between them both. However, we do see Jack Christie and Smee. This is for P2 of the race. Since Christie has damage, however, Smee doesn't. Is that going to affect anything? This is definitely putting a disadvantage here on Christie, as it seems Smee has no damage and their car is sparkly clean. So you see Samuel is making more time, as I said, into sector 3 and sector 2. And it seems Samuel doesn't make any time there into the S's. So it could be any. There is a lunge there. Whoa, that was a good move there. Samuel just goes a bit late on the brake there. Patek does let it happen here. But we are now onto another not another incident. I hope not another incident. Another gap here. Patek goes for the most inside line possible, trying to make it happen side by side here. But there is social distancing between these two. Seems they are going to go side by side into turn 1, leaving the racing room between each other. But seems Samuel's just going to get the inside line into turn 2. It just backs off a bit because of the underspeed. But it seems Patek goes very wide there, which causes Samuel to get the overspeed once again into the corner, and now Patek does have the inside line once again. This has been side by side for a few corners now. Patek, oh, they just touch a bit. It seems the Ferrari is trying to get past that of Guy and also Boulder. This is a humongous battle here. Patek just gets past once again. It seems Samuel's not going to let that happen. We saw a bit of weaving there to try and defend lines there and try and pick a line. Wow. Seems Samuel just tried to make a bit of a juke move there, which does lead to Patek using a lot more brake than he would do, which didn't lose too much time though to what you would have expected him to lose. Aaron Sparks once again on Robertino. Different times, however, Christie is gone as they just touched each other, which is very unfortunate there. Seems a bit of a misjudgment on braking there, and that is going to be very unfortunate. Is Aaron Sparks going to let... It seems they're just going to get past each other. It seems Aaron Sparks is going to do the responsible thing, and I respect him very much for this. Is let Robertino back, and they are going back to racing here. Unfortunately, Aaron Sparks lost a lot of places there, but that is the very, I guess you could say, gentleman thing to do. Jack Christie and Sweet once again at it. This has been non-stop battles here at Valencia. This is great to see. See just Jack Christie on the wing there. Oh, that's the wrong person. But just on the wing. And on the wing with Sweet here, just trying to see the placement of the McLaren through these corners to any sort of differences here on braking or the line. It seems braking there, just a lot of benefit there by Christie trying to get this P3. Not even P3, this is P2 actually. That is wrong on the bottom there. I think we just saw Smeed get back into P2, the reigning position. This fight has been going on for laps and laps here, and this has been absolutely mental going into the final turning. This is all about trying to not get him a slipstream at all, but it seems Smee has executed that perfectly, and there's not too much slipstream between both of them, and it's not going to affect them at all there for Smee. Boulder trying to get closer and closer on that last corner, just trying to break maybe 10 meters, maybe 5 meters even less, earlier between them, just to try and get, as we see, this could be a pull. This is trying just to put him in the mirror there, trying to get a bit of side draft and just say, hey, I'm here, give me the room. Because obviously, whoa, that went extremely wide there. Guy goes extremely wide there, which unfortunately leads him to lose the position there to Boulder, and now attacked by Robertino right between them. This is going to lead to another extraordinary battle here. Robertino obviously with Fleming behind them. "14 minutes left of this race. This is where everything's going to get so much tighter packed. This is nuts how many battles are still going on. I'm just trying to see. However, you see Alistair White just on trying to get... This is going to be a sketchy side-by-side through turn one. Seems just backed off a tiny bit there off Simon Van. Leads a tiny bit of a gap between them both, but through this first sector is where mistakes are very prone to happen. Just getting a bit eager on the brake, but you're already on the limit. So there is very little braking justification here on this track before you go wide and unfortunately lose position, as there is a lot of gravel traps here which will lose you a lot of speed. However, this is what we're going to see side by side. Fleming just trying, I don't even know what he's trying to do there, but it seems to go extremely wide there. That's going to lose the track position there. It seems this humongous battle is on the brew once again. It's about, this is a 6-way car chain. This is for 12 minutes left of the race. There was a lunge there. There's a 2-way lunge there. Fleming just losing the position there, and Aaron Sparks going for it, and it seems Fleming just let that go. But is that going to be a good idea? Because he's now at risk of Attenborough behind them. As we do see another position, Robertino tries to make a move there. It's a bit of a bump there. Just goes lunging into the first corner. Switchback tries to happen. Loses so much speed there because of how slow Robertino was going there compared to Guy. And it seems the position is final for the time being. I reckon Guy will try and make a position back as soon as he can. But Aaron Sparks is not letting this happen. Aaron Sparks wants this position of P8 as bad as Guy wants his position back of P8. Final 11-ish minutes left of this race. This is where everyone's going to get a bit more impatient, where we might see more mistakes because everyone's trying to make up positions as far as it goes. This is absolutely mental as we see a car goes damage. It's Bocky, he was quite high up on the leaderboard. What's happened there? Bit of oversteer possibly. You get on the curb and not braking. Oh, trying to see if they could correct the car without using the brakes. Oh no, unfortunately gained a lot less time and a damaged front bumper. However, Dan Paul going side by side here with I think it's Guy just not letting that happen. Well, I feel like that was lap traffic, possibly? No, that is Guy. Again, not letting that happen. However, there was a bit of a move there. Down Christie just gets the move done, but it's now side by side going into this corner. But however, Christie does have the favour of the inside line of this. However, Attenborough goes very, very deep there, trying to make it back, trying to possibly do a switchback, but too far back for anything to happen. Dan Paul trying to make another move here on Guy after the position was stolen from him. Seems nothing's going to happen. However, Attenborough trying to look for a move on Christie once again, which it doesn't happen in his favour. And now this gap is starting to increase again. Johnny trying to get P3 here from Jack Christie here. It's a bit too far back to make any moves just yet, I would say. I reckon at this time it's probably quite close to another battle here. Dan Paul trying to lunge down on the outside. Guy, they both go very wide there. This is where they need to be very careful on track limits. I think Guy's done that a few times now, but lets the position by so he doesn't get another track cut, because I reckon he's on his final warning. Oh god, I was missing out then. Got a notification, unfortunately. It seemed Attenborough just trying to make a move there, has the favour of the inside line. Christie does not let that happen, brakes a bit later. However, this track temperature has rapidly increased here. It's now up to 39-degree track, which is absolutely nuts here at Valencia. The bows are just slowly starting to fade away again, as we see a final final pit stop there by Guy. It's unfortunate there, as we do see a huge incident there. What happened here between all of these seems this huge. As I told you, impatience is going to start happening. So it seems the blue car, I feel like that was traffic, as there's another separate incident completely. So it seems there was just two incidents in the same correlation of a corner, but it seems Aaron Sparks is still on the back of Robertino here, as he didn't see the car there. Oh, that is so unfortunate there. Just not being able to see the car there, including both of the cars in damage there, but it doesn't seem Aaron Sparks got off that badly and actually gained a position or two there. That is a very unfortunate there, and now Aaron Sparks leads this pack. Are we going to see another move here? However, Vitalso, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Trying to look for a move here in Simon Van. Simon Van has been everything neglected wise on this race, I would say. Spun out a few times. It's very unfortunate. But unfortunately, racing is racing, and this stuff will happen. You can't always have good races. Even if that is having a 500 win streak and to be lost by one bad race. This huge train is about to go absolutely wild. So you see them all just only like 5/10 between each other. Exactly 5/10 between all of them. It seems Joseph Attenborough is trying to make moves here as we see a bit of a juke move there from Fleming. Just to try and say, hey, I'm here to Danpool, but Danpool is not falling for any of that. And is trying to make his move back on Aaron Sparks after that incident that happened, which caused Aaron Sparks to get in the lead after the car stopped in the middle of the track earlier. Seems Aaron Sparks just has to keep this going for another 3 laps. With that oversteer, I feel like he is starting to feel the pressure, but this 40-degree track is not going to help at all. So we've now just reached midday here. It's probably going to be the hottest it's going to get till the evening-ish time. What you track there are going to feel this because I don't think a lot of them have taken tyres. So it seems Aaron Sparks has started to pull away there. However, this isn't good for Danpool because Danpool will not have a slipstream on the straight compared to Flem. Fleming will definitely have a very, very strong slipstream. It will just keep doing this. Slipstream doesn't work as well as you would think it is in this game. It's still quite a major asset when it comes to overtaking on long straights like this straight on Valencia. So we do see Joseph Attenborough improving his time between him and Aaron Christie as they go side by side here. For Attenborough to try force the outside line with the inside line there between them both. So just trying to put a tiny bit of pressure there. A bit of worry there in Kallenberg, but it doesn't seem to work too well. Another slipstream, and it seems the slipstream gaining quite a bit on Kallenberg from Ringston. Left of this absolutely insane race. This battle was anything but over though. So you see Attenborough trying to just get this move done with Darren as quickly as possible. Going to straight there. Is Attenborough going to have any better of a run? And Darren, it doesn't seem so. Not gaining any time here between them both. At the front of the pack, seems Aaron Sparks is doing still a very good job of keeping this pressure from Danpool. Danpool, who's done an excellent job this race on gaining positions. It goes right into the back of Aaron there. But it seems Aaron is not being affected by that. It's just a bit of spookiness there, which is probably going to knock down Dan's confidence a tiny bit. Which isn't good for this humongous battle. But we'll see later on how Ringston is still trying to get past Kallenberg as quickly as possible. Doesn't seem to be working just yet on the straight though, which is usually a good sign. Actually, we might see a side-by-side action here into turn 1. Just 0.1 between them both. Going into the third corner, it just seems to break up. Will be a bit of a lunge here into turn 1. We might see something here. Forcing the inside line there. Seems just playing the long game here, trying to wait for Vornek to happen. However, the Lamborghini seems Simon Van trying to get past the line. Well, Simon Van did get past the Lamborghini. Some sort of attack move there by the Lamborghini. However, Thomas Merrifield, unfortunately, further down than he would have liked to be. Just trying to get past there. A bit of a swerve there. There's a bit of contact there, which is very unfortunate there. Bit of a tap. And then it's just going to not go for that move there. So a bit of confidence knocked off to that swerving under. Straight. Seems there isn't going to be any move done there either. Ringson consistently 0.3 behind Kallenberg here. It's going to start getting a bit impatient now. They're doing pretty much identical lap times. I reckon Kallenberg is just trying to make it last. However, it seems Ringson tried to go side by side there. Didn't work trying to formate it. The straight gonna help out at all. It doesn't seem so, as it has so going slow, which was only me and Thomas Merrifield. Oh, it just taps the back of them. That's very unfortunate. Luckily, it doesn't go into any other traffic there. Just gets off the racing line as quickly as possible. That's very sensibly executed there from the Lambo. We've now entered the final lap. Bugatti on the final lap. Well, actually, way past the final lap. I've only just got the notification by crew chief. This is now Attenborough's making the move there on Darren. Darren's going to let it happen, or is there going to be switcheroo there? A switcheroo is possible. No, switcheroo was not formatted here. Is Darren going to let this happen? Darren's probably going to try to get the slipstream here. As he is, he's going to try to do a launch here. Turn one, possibly. Oh, just let it go, which is a very, again, sensible idea. Sometimes my ideas aren't always the best. Not sometimes, but most of the time. But now just going side by side, trying to force it again. Try to get his position back. Darren is not going to be happy with this. Oh, just gets a bit of gravel there. That's going to lose him a lot of time here. And this might be quite difficult on the final lap to get any sort of traction there. However, Darren did gain a lot of time into those final corners. This is the only big bar on track here. It seems to just absolutely lunge there. A humongous dive bomb there, which unfortunately did not work there for Darren. I feel like that was a bit far off there, and it's now being pushed back into other cars. However, guy who's been absolutely brilliant this race just sees Jimmy with extremely damaged BMW get past him successfully before the checkered flag to make it work. But it seems Jimany's not trying to fight yet. I don't think he will be able to with that front bumper. It's what I like to call it is the sociable bonnet, because it keeps flapping up and it really annoys you when you try to race. I reckon everyone here is trying to go on the final shot. Aaron Sparks trying to make any move he can here on Boulder before the final lap. Trying to go side by side into turn 2. Doesn't seem to work at all, but the switchback will. Looks like just getting his nose off there, but Aaron Sparks will just back off just a tiny bit there to make it work.
Finished the race.
Neither has just finished a race, now goes past the checkered flag as we see everyone else has to do their final lap. A huge congratulations here to Bugatti from Patagaru Racing for that amazing drive he's done. Both races now a little bit better in the championship lead, and next race I will make the championship standing point sheets if you want to see them, as I will try to get them in the stream as quickly as possible. However, let's stop talking about that for now. Thomas Merrifield just backing traffic there. It's not going to be very happy for Aaron Sparks. Aaron Sparks just trying to get past any second possible. He's only got one turning to make this happen. And it's straight, but you kind of want the better traction through the straight. They've got to try to go side by side there, but just forces it off there. Bordeaux goes a bit better through there. Traction, this is going to be a drag race to the line, but I feel like Bordeaux does have this in the position. This humongous battle has unfortunately came to an end. Wow. May I say, what a battle this has been. All of the drivers in this race, give yourself a pat on the back. This has been absolutely nuts to see today. Wow. That's what I've got to say is wow. This race has been very, very eventful. Many cars there. Track just the final few finishing there. Going across the line. So that is the end of this race, which is very unfortunate because I'll be honest, in the 6 months I've commentated, which isn't that long at all, but probably the best race I've seen in a long time. Obviously, as you should know me, hopefully by now, it's the final race I did last week that unfortunately didn't go too well due to my internet going out, which went out for a very long time, led me going insane. But I hope all of you have a wonderful day. I have been Aces, the commentator for tonight. Check me out on Twitter or any of that, or even in the Discord if you want to say hi. Anyway, have a very full, wonderful night. I can't speak English anymore. And I'll see you for round 4. I know, round 3. I can't count anymore either. I apologise. Round 3 of the Amigos Season 14. Bye.